Weil die Welt sich so schnell dreht, weil die Zeit so schnell vergeht, kommst du nicht hinterher. Weil die Hektik sich nicht legt, du in der Masse untergehst, bist du ein Tropfen im...
So welcome everybody. This is a discussion on a new European socialist movement, the rise of the left party in Germany. It's sponsored both by Socialist Project and Socialist Voice, whose publications and other things are on the tables at the back of the room. We're very lucky to have two important commentators, two of the most important commentators on the rise of the left party, both because of their importance in German debates about the left in Germany. Frank Deppe, who's professor at Marburg. I've known his writings since I was studying as a doctoral student a long time ago, learning about the German labor movement and how it intersected with the German capitalism. And he is one of the most important commentators on the German left, and of course has been involved in and commenting and other things on the new left party. And also here to speak is Ingar Solty, who's a doctoral student right now at York University, who's been involved in the journal Das Dokument for many years, and has also become, from what he shows me all the time, a very prolific writer on German issues as well. And particularly has written an important assessment of the German left party that was circulated widely among intellectual circles and activist circles in Germany, and is now being translated into English for the journal Socialism and Democracy, and is the first important assessment in English of the rise of the German left party. The German left party is, of course, about a year old now. It emerged out of the old Party of Democratic Socialism from East Germany, and was that Frank will explain more details, the different components in West Germany that came together with it. It also emerged coincidentally with the significant protests of a little bit over a year ago in the G8 summit protests that were against in Germany, that were very large and important mobilizations. Over the last months, the rise of the left party has really stirred things up in Germany across the political spectrum, as Germany has moved over of course, from what was a three-party system to a four-party system. Now is quite clearly a five-party system, with the rise of the left party to 10 to 14% of the polls consistently now, and winning a number of seats in different districts and at different levels in the German political system. Of course, this is developing also responses from the German ruling classes to the rise of the left party in terms of ideological attacks, debates about what's possible in coalitional governments, and so on. And of course, it stirred up a lot of debates across the left and socialist movement in Germany about how to relate to the rise of the new left party and what it means for socialist politics in the sense of both parliamentary and extra-parliamentary politics. So we're very fortunate to have both Frank and Ingar here to discuss these developments with us. I think Ingar will kick it off. So, Ingar?
Yes. I mean, the German left party is not, or the new German left party is not the first significant reaction or like left articulation of the contradictions of neoliberalism. We had the no in France to the neoliberal European Constitution, as well as the nee of the Dutch people in the Netherlands as a reaction to the neoliberal European Constitution. But so far, most of the articulations of the contradictions of neoliberalism at the political level, they articulated themselves as the rise of modern right-wing populist parties, especially there where social democratic parties left a political vacuum to their left through their neoliberal transformation. It was mostly right-wing populist parties that gained from that, and also voters' abstinency was a significant result of neoliberalism, politically speaking. and also a tendency to grant coalitions. So like there was a fundamental representational crisis. The rise of the German Left Party is not so much a reaction to a massive social mobilization, a rise of or emergence of strong social movements in Germany, but it has much to, or like some reasons of it are contingent and have to do with what Richard Detje has called the collateral damage of German reunification, namely that in the East a major party survived, namely the PDS, but the PDS was not was pretty much neglected by most of West German leftists, and was like the question was whether it was an obstacle or whether it was something that could function as the political base of neoliberalism and a counter-hegemonic mobilization. And it was like the contingency or the coincidence of the whole development was basically the enforced or compelled move, or the compulsion to mobilize, because at the same time that the PDS seemed to resurface as a political actor, you gotta remember that the PDS dropped out of the Bundestag in 2002. It only had 2 direct candidates as representatives in the Bundestag, and it seemed that the PDS could once again jump the 5% hurdle and re-enter the German Bundestag. At the same time, the WASG emerged in the West, and it occurred that the WASG was going to alienate exactly those votes in the West that the PDS would have needed in the West to be able to nationally jump the 5% hurdle. And the fact that Schröder, after the heavy defeat in the state elections, after having been defeated in, I think, 11 state elections in a row against the Christian conservatives, the fact that, like, when they lost the social democratic powerhouse in North Rhine-Westphalia, when Schröder called for new elections, new national elections, this pressure, which also seemed to be a strategic attempt of the Social Democrats to strangle the emerging Western left party in the cradle, that turned out to be something that mobilized the left in a way to bring those 2 parties together, and under the and I think the contingency here is also the role that Oscar Lafontaine played by being a credible political figure who could credibly stand for a westward expansion of the left party. And as you may or may not know, that westward, as Greg has pointed out, Germany has effectively been transformed into a 5-party system, and all political commentators are accepting that. Most of them, of course, don't like it, but they have accepted it by now. And this has to do with the fact that the left party first entered, for the first time in its history, entered a West German parliament in Bremen in 2007, and entered, which might have been was by the press not considered to be a real westward expansion, because Bremen was always fairly leftist, and like this was where the German Communist Party had its small powerhouse along with Hamburg and so on and so forth. It's a city-state, like mobilizations are much easier to do than they are in big states as Lower Saxony and Hesse, and the fact that the left party got into the state parliament of Lower Saxony and Hesse earlier this year, at the end of January, has been probably the breakthrough that also has also shown that the social democratic strategy to marginalize the left party by a significant leftward turn has failed, and they have openly acknowledged the fact that that strategy has failed, and now there seems to be an erosion within the social democratic party that doesn't seem to be really a center. There's like a shift towards the left, certain people are pulling strongly to the left, and then there's those people who still hold to the legacy of the Schröder government, who are trying, they're called the networkers, who are trying to pull the party to the right, and with it, outside of these 2 factions, there seems to be no middle ground there. So this is basically those are